Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another on the movie news, another vlog on the movie news. Just I just felt like just doing another random one, talking about stuff. Then I just found two subjects that I felt that was like worth talking about. So on the first subject at hand, talking about because with Disney, with all the live action remakes they're doing now, because all these ones are being big hits. I mentioned one that's one they're gonna do a live action one of Mulan. I was like, okay. Now they found its director, which I was like, okay. I just prefer the original choice better though, but now when I reviewed a while back I reviewed Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was directed by Chuck Russell. Now, of course, well, probably didn't say this though, but now Chuck Russell he was gonna do a live action film of Mulan though, but that was like all the way back in 2010, and they canceled it. Now until now, they announced the director was going to be directed by someone by the name of Nikki Caro. I'm not all too familiar with this director. She directed a film in 2015 called McFarlane USA. It was a Disney film with Kevin Costner. But the biggest film that's probably well known to this director, she directed a film called Whale Rider from 2002. It was a critically acclaimed film. Won nominated and won some awards too. I know that I've heard of the film Whale Rider. I just never saw it. But this is what's going to be the director for this film. From the director of Whale Rider. Now, one thing is, like, sir, because for me, I think Chuck Russell would have been a better choice. I mean, he directed a lot of good films. Even he directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. I like. He directed you can see from up there though, but I can't. The light is up there, but the poster on top. He directed the remake of The Blob, 1988. Love the film. Then he directed The Mask with Jim Carrey. That was a big hit. Then that was 94. Then 96, I did my review, the 20th anniversary review of Eraser. It's a badass film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was a hit. Then he directed The Scorpion King, the spin-off of, with Dwayne Johnson. It was alright. But after The Scorpion King, he kind of disappeared after that. And then I know that he directed a new film, it was in 2015 or was it 16, I forget, with John Travolta called I Am Wrath, which I was not all that concerned about. I mean, if I had the choice, I would just. I mean, he was originally chosen to direct it back in 2010. I think he would still be a better choice for him to, because he hasn't done much for pretty much. The last big hit we had was Scorpion King. Why don't they ask him to come back, and he's like, hey, we're doing a live action Mulan. You want to do one? Why don't you come back and do this one? This is me because I have not much heard about this director of Whale Rider, but I just prefer Chuck Russell better. Because love The Blob, The Mask, Eraser, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. I would probably say Scorpion King. It's probably my least favorite film from Chuck Russell though, but still, I haven't seen I Am Wrath though, but I just think it's just probably not gonna. That's probably it's a direct-to-video film, so that's the problem with that film. I just think just Chuck Russell would have been a bit. That's what my concern is. I'm for a live action remake of Mulan, but I think they could have asked Chuck Russell to, hey, we're doing a live action one like you wanted to do. Maybe you can just come back and ask you, and if you want to do it now, just. It's too bad because he hasn't. I think if he directed this film, I know this film is gonna be huge. I think this would have been. It's selected for like November 2018. If that film came out, I knew it was gonna. I pretty much know it's gonna be a huge hit. And that would probably be like the biggest hit that Chuck Russell was ever directed. But so that's not gonna be it now. So I'm a tad disappointed on that though. But I'm forward I look forward to seeing it. But I just would imagine if Chuck Russell would have been a direct. Like how he originally wanted to, because I know that would have been like the biggest hit. If that would have been the biggest hit of the film he's ever had, then he probably would have given more chances of directing more films. Because I'll pretty much say he's an underrated director because no one talks about him nowadays. So I'll pretty much say he's an underrated director. Because if you look at his background check on his films that he directed. The Blob. Like I said, The Blob, The Mask, Eraser, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Even Bless the Child, which I like Bless the Child. I think probably not anybody liked it, but I liked Bless the Child with Kim Basinger. I think it's a pretty decent horror film. Forgot he directed. That's why I had to remember what other films he directed. Yeah, even Bless the Child too. So that's the first. That's the first subject. That's what I'm concerned about. But I think Chuck Russell would have been a better choice for a director than the director of Whale Rider, because he directed much bigger films that were hits. Even a couple were misses, which to me The Blob didn't deserve to flop. But just the big hits like The Mask and Eraser, those are two of his biggest films, and it's just a shame. I think Chuck Russell would have been a better choice for a director. Just give him another chance. He doesn't get jobs nowadays. Well, the direct-to-video film of I Am Wrath, though, but it's a direct-to-video film. Another big theoretical release film. But also the last big film was The Scorpion King, and that was back in 2002. So going 15 years later, it's just too bad. So yeah, I think Chuck Russell I think they could have asked him, hey, we're doing it now. Maybe you can come do it how you originally wanted to. But that's not gonna happen now. So I guess Chuck Russell's now back under the radar again, living under our noses again. He's an underrated director to me, and I enjoy Chuck Russell. So yeah, so that's on the first subject. Now the second subject I'm more concerned of than this one. Okay. I just heard, I know this is really, I'm a little late on here, I'm telling this though, but for like past maybe about a week or so, regarding about the Halloween franchise. And I know, first of all, with Friday the 13th, they shelved the new one, I guess, for good now. So it was gonna be like a release date for next year, but they shelved it. So, but we're gonna have another Halloween film. I know some people. I know a lot of people, and I would agree with the two. Like, enough is enough. We don't need any more Halloween films or Friday 13th or another Nightmare on Elm Street remake. But to me, my favorite of the horror franchise is the Halloween franchise. But part of me is like, yeah, I would agree. Enough is enough. And part of me says, yeah, well, maybe one more. And they said that John Carpenter he's gonna be involved in it with it again, and just like making it the first time he's involved with another Halloween film since Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. That was all the way back in 1982. Okay, and he said he's gonna try to make it much more like a darker film, like he originally, he did for the other ones. He's not gonna direct though. He's gonna be serve as executive producer, and I think he might even do the music. I think. But the thing is, though, is who's gonna direct and who else is gonna be involved with it. That's what I'm concerned about. And I don't think it may not work now. Okay. The chosen who's gonna direct is David Gordon Green. He's mainly a comedy director. Now he's directed. This is the guy who directed Pineapple Express. I like Pineapple Express, and he also directed Your Highness. And I actually say I like Your Highness. They directed The Sitter with Jonah Hill, which I don't think it was not that good, but then he directed other ones like called Prince Avalanche, which I've not seen. In 2015, he directed a film called Our Brand Is Crisis with Sandra Bullock and Billy Bob Thornton. That was a flop. But Pineapple Express I like. But the thing is, though, this is more like a comedic director. And also who else is involved with it is Danny McBride. Danny McBride is going to be also... They're both, the director and Danny McBride, they're going to serve as, like, the writers of this film. Because they have ideas, and this also thing is it's going to be a direct sequel to Halloween 2. No, not Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. The sequel to the 1981 Halloween 2. Okay. And before I get to that on that part, okay, yes, I found some stuff like looking up the Danny McBride says that they have ideas and says that John Carpenter likes their ideas. Danny McBride is quote. I'm looking up right here. It says about it. It says, it's not a remake. It's actually going to continue the story of Michael Myers in a really grounded way. And for our mythology, we're focusing mainly in the first two movies, and that's the setup, and then where the story can go from there. And he says that also promise a no laughs return to horror flick. So he says, of course, yeah, it's gonna be like a straight horror with no comedy in it. Like the comedy from what Dan McBride does and the director, that comedy stuff. So none of this, he says, there's gonna be no comedy, like no laughs like that. It's gonna be straight horror, just like how the first and the second film are. And he says that, another quote says, Green and I are definitely going to do a straight up horror. Halloween has always been one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a simplicity and an efficiency to that first one that I think allows the movies just to be scary as hell. And so Green and our approach is to get back to that. So he wants to get back how originally to be the original scary and the scary vibe to how it was the first two films. Now, okay, the part of me says like, okay, you want to go back to like the scary roots how the first two film was. Well, what made him so great about it? Yeah, but part of me thinking is like nowadays you can't make him scare. You can't make him scary nowadays. You can't make horror films like those from this scary nowadays. Even when you get films like The Conjuring or the spin-offs like Annabelle or the ones that James Wan are producing, like Lights Out, or yeah, you can try to make them scary looking how the film looks though, but those the one thing is you get them make you scared of is just jump scares. They didn't do that. Well, Halloween and Halloween 2 it was like more scary suspense than it just boo jump scares. No. But you can't make them scary. You can't make films like those scary nowadays. Well, Curse of Chucky. Only because Don Mancini, he tried to make it go back to be a dark, scary Chucky film, and look what happened with that. But yeah. I mean, that's the thing, because who was involved was Danny McBride and the director of Pineapple Express and Your Highness. These are the two. And plus, why? Because Danny McBride, he's starring in Alien Covenant. Oh, a comedic actor starring in a horror science fiction film. That'll be a change of pace. You know. Why? Because he's starring in that film. He's gonna be, oh, since I'm starring in a not funny comedy, maybe I'll get a chance to start in horror, and maybe I'll move up into the horror by resurrecting a Halloween film. But yeah, John Carpenter will be executive producer, and he says he's probably gonna do the music. And the release date for the new Halloween film is gonna be like in October 2018, like in mid-October 2018. Now the thing is, though, like I said, it says it's going to be a direct sequel to Halloween 2. Now the problem with that is, why? I mean, how does that work? Because Halloween 2, because Laurie Strode shot him in the eyes, blinded him, and they released all the oxygen, gases, whatever, and Dr. Loomis, you know, it's time, Michael, lights it, blew up the room, and Laurie Strode saw him, he's walking on fire, and he falls down. Apparently, when he fell down, he fell into a coma. That's how, you know, he was in a coma for 10 years, and for Halloween 4 to start. Now, how does a direct sequel like that work when he's been in a coma for all that time? I mean, they said they have ideas for it, though, but I can't think of anything right now, because, like I said, I probably don't have what they have. But how does that work if he was on fire? What is he going to come back? He's going to come back somehow, and then by the end of the film, he's going to fall right back into a coma. Then that's when Halloween 4 is going to begin. So after that, he's not in a coma, and then somehow by the end of the film, he's going to go back into a coma until the time for him to awake again for Halloween 4. It has to be something like that, because otherwise, how is that a direct sequel to Halloween 2 going to work? How is that? Yeah, that's probably the best way I could put it. He's going to come back out of a coma, and then he's going to do some terrorize, and then somehow by the end of the film, he's going to go back into it. Then that's when Halloween 4 will take place. I don't know. So that's another thing. How far a direct sequel to Halloween 2 is. So yeah, that's another thing. So yeah, the Halloween. Well, we don't know what the new title is going to be, but because I will say that the film lost the rights to Dimension Films, so it's going back to like Miramax, how originally it was, I think it was, but yeah. So I'm just not too sure on this one. Yeah, cool. John Carpenter, he's coming back. Okay. Because I love John Carpenter. It's nice of him to. It's part of me. Yeah, he's nice of him to be finally back into the franchise for after all, nearly over 30 years. But the thing is, though, yeah, two comedic guys, the director of Pineapple Express and Your Highness, and Danny McBride is involved with it. Obviously, no, because they do the comedies, and when they do like nothing but comedies, what you can do is also just flip it and okay, we know how to do a scary horror film, you know. But I'm not too sure for that though. But hey, maybe they'll surprise me and they actually can pull off do a straight horror film without involving any of that type of comedy in it. Maybe they try to go back to the scary Halloween roots how they wanted to. But we'll have to wait and see on that though. But for me, I'm not all too sure on that though. But yeah, that's just my some random on the movie news like that though. So, but hey, if people can agree with me or disagree with me, that's fine. But I'm just how the way my mind thinks, and just I know everyone has their own different feelings. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, so that's how it is on the movie news for now. So yeah, Mulan. I think Chuck Russell would have been a better choice still. And Halloween, not too sure for. Which was funny. I kind of find it weird that Danny McBride involved in a Halloween film. Well, because like, he started Alien Covenant. Now he thinks he can do better in horror. I mean, I like Danny McBride in a couple of things. Don't get me wrong, but I just like okay, he's doing all his comedies, all of a sudden flip it. I'm an Alien Covenant. And I can get involved in a Halloween film. But yeah. Well, that's how I think though. But like I said, it's all in my opinion though. So agree, disagree. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.